Hey, what is going on everybody? It is Nolan, or the Optimistic Gamer here, and welcome back to All the Mods 9. Today we are back in our quest page, taking care of our main quest line, revisiting that, something that we haven't done in a little while, and more specifically, we are going to be looking at Ars Nouveau, getting magical right up here. This is an optional quest. You can see it doesn't have any branches anywhere else that ultimately leads to getting an All the Mods star, but we are still going to do it anyway because this will be very useful. We can make our own spells, protect ourselves when we visit dangerous environments such as the Nether, which more Nether exploration will be coming up in the future. So we want better ways to protect ourselves from all the dangers that the modded Nether has to offer. So for that, of course, we are looking at Ars Nouveau. We did briefly look at this mod in Crafted Chaos, so I feel pretty good about this whole process. What do we have going on out here? I don't know what we have going on out here. That Wandering Trader's down to a half heart. Interesting. Uh-oh. Well, now the Wandering Trader is no more. That's a little bit sad. Alright, let's fix up our house here real quick. I did spot that creeper from out our window, but I didn't think he would be an issue over here. We'll fix up the rest of that in a little bit. Back to Ars Nouveau. So as I said, we have briefly looked at this mod before in a different series, and I feel pretty good about how everything will come together. Right here we have some flashing archwood logs, something from Ars Elemental, but we are mostly after the, I think it is the arching vexwood. Let's step out here and see if we can find that anywhere. If not, we can use our waypoints and travel somewhere else and see if we can find it elsewhere. I am not seeing any on our island, so I think we will travel to a few different biomes and see if we can find any elsewhere. Also, we might bring the extra waystone that we got in case we find some new biome that's far away from anywhere close to any of our current waystones. We will start all the way up here at the Cherry Grove Forest, and this village right here, our farthest waystone from what we currently have. I don't think this is going to be the wood that we are after up here, but it is worth checking out. I suppose it could be, but I think this is something different. Yeah, this is this the Jacaranda? It is. And I'm just kind of looking at the map here. It looks like our XL village that we have, that has some, oh, flashing archwood leaves. Is that what we currently have? Yes, it is. Again, we are after the vexing archwood right here. Although I do wonder if the flashing archwood would work the same. I'm trying to remember what we need to craft for this. Let's have a look at the Ars Nouveau page. I know for a fact we need some kind of special table. All of these things right down here. The imbuement chamber, I know we need one of those. That is made with archwood planks. Can we get... Okay, I guess we just get standard archwood, so we actually don't need to go on a big adventure for all of this. I do, however, since we are out here, still want to place down our waystone, so I think we are going to travel to the northeast a little bit more, or maybe to the northwest. Again, if we take a look at our map here, we are all the way up here. Our island is all the way down here, 3,500 blocks away, and we have a waystone here and here, although that might be a little bit redundant. Maybe we should move one of those down in this region, but I think we might travel up this way and get this next waystone placed down. It's nice to have these in all different areas, that way we can quickly travel to different biomes. And it looks like we have some cows up here, or at least a cow. If we could find a few more, yes, here we go. Remember, we can quickly bring them through our waystone with the leads and get them home, and we do have some more of the archwood right there. We might actually go and chop down that tree, but I think we're going to set up this waystone right here. It's far enough away from our Cherry Grove village, or at least it seemed like we traveled far. That just puts into perspective just how far away we are. That is already 400 blocks, each of those respectively, so we are actually quite a ways. But yes, lots of cows here, a different textured cow, but still a cow, and a couple of lava pits. I saw some more fire over there, but that isn't a problem for us. I do just want to go a little bit farther here and see what we have over here. It looks like we have some kind of structure and some tall trees over here. I'm curious to see what kind of wood that is. Perhaps redwood or something else. But we do have some loot chests right around here. I don't see any hostile mob markers on our map, so that is a good sign. It looks like this wood right here is fir. Excellent. I think we built with that in Crafted Chaos. That is a very nice muted wood, a good look for building. In here, I'm a little nervous to step inside. Perhaps we should open this barrel from the outside first. We don't have anything in there of value. Let's step inside, remove some of these cobwebs in case we get... That really startled me. That was just a lantern. Open up some of these. We have some arcane essence. That's not part of the Ars Nouveau mod, I don't believe, but it will be useful to us at some point, I'm sure. A potion of poison, I don't think we need to take that. We will take those amethyst shards, though. We could definitely find a use for those. I do think we have a couple geodes in our cave pretty close where we have that waystone, but we will still grab those nonetheless. But it looks like those are all just fir trees over in that direction, maybe oak or something else over there. But as the sun sets, I think we're going to go place down that waystone over by the cows and then head home and get to work on our spells. And I just realized we are in a lavender field, which means we can get some lavender wood. We also have a pig over here, which is another mob that we do not have. We have chickens and sheep, we do not have pigs or cows, and of course we are trying to make our animal essence. So this was a great find. We got some lavender wood out of it. We got our cows, we got our pigs. Oh, those are jacaranda trees. I thought those might be lavender. Nonetheless, we have lavender fields and we can continue to make our lavender bedrooms all decorated with the lavender stuff. So we are going to do lavender fields and put cows and pigs in parentheses. So, Ars Nouveau, what is it? Well, it is a magic mod. It allows us to create spells, and these spells can do a variety of things for us. We can use them for attacking, we can use them to build, we can use them to destroy resources, and I would assume we can use them for self-defense as well. So they really cover all of the bases. We are going to start by making the novice spellbook right here, which is made with all 4 iron tools, excluding a hoe, and a single book. So we need to make the pickaxe, axe, and sword. And that will give us our novice spellbook. That's going to get us starting on Ars Nouveau. And if we head into our quest page here, we should be able to find the specific tab for this mod, and it should guide us a little bit more. Although I did spot that we are getting the quest for this complete. That will give us some XP and a glyph of evaporate. So of course, technically, this is all checked off now in our main quest line. Again, that's just a side quest, but we are still going to look at it because it is, again, important for dealing with dangers of the modded environment. So this is our Ars Nouveau page. As you can see, there's a lot going on with all of these different glyphs and all of these different tabs and stuff. Again, we did get the evaporate glyph, which is right up here under the tier 1 glyphs. We will get the quest for that as soon as we build a scribe's table and get some archwood logs And of course, we've already made our first spell book. So we are going to grab some of those archwood logs. Again, they don't have to be the vexing, the flashing works for that as well. And I think we actually have to go through this first. So check that off. That gives us our worn notebook. Now we will collect the XP for making the novice spellbook. We will also get a potion of mana regeneration. More on that in a little bit. And our archwood right over here. That gives us a cascading archwood sapling and 100 XP. That is going to take us almost to level 45 right down there. Now we can make the scribe's table. This is how we will make our different glyphs. In fact, we can read through this. If you want to cast better spells, you'll need a scribe's table to unlock new glyphs for your spellbook. There are 3 tiers of glyphs to unlock, and each one requires some experience and items. The scribe's table is also used to attach spells to spell parchments. To do this, place a spell parchment on the table, select the spell in your spellbook, and then sneak and right-click the book on the table. To create a glyph, right-click on the scribe's table with your spellbook, search for the glyph you want to make, then select at the bottom. Right-click the table with the items required and the glyph will be created. Use the glyph to learn it. So let's check out the recipe for this. It's going to be 3 archwood slabs, 2 logs, and 2 gold nuggets. Very, very easy to make. We'll just get our slabs across the top, the logs here at the bottom, and our gold nuggets. That will give us the scribe's table, that will give us the quest for that, and then when we collect this, well, we're going to get a random glyph and a lot of XP. Now we can also collect, and we have another wandering trader. These guys really like to spawn very frequently. Nothing worth trading though. So why don't we go ahead and place this down right here? Or do we place it like that? There we go. So we have our scribe's table now, and again we can collect our 2 glyphs from right up here. Although we have to check mark all of these real quick. Perfect. So we actually have 3 different glyphs to collect. We have the summon wolves. We get XP for that. We are just getting 100 XP for all of these, it looks like. Even the tier 2 and 3, although it rewards a little bit more XP over here at tier 3. Moving on from glyphs though, we can take a look at creating our first spell. We can also look at the imbuement chamber, which is how we will create source gems. Those are useful for creating, I think, more advanced spells. Let's have a look in our worn notebook though, real quick. Ars Nouveau provides spell crafting, magical devices, powerful trinkets, and magical entity automation. So I think we will just go through one at a time, beginning with getting started. An introduction to Ars Nouveau. It is recommended to follow each section in order, so that is what we will do. Elemental tweaks. As long as Ars Elemental is installed, which it is, these tweaks will be active. Enchanter's Shield can trigger reactive on blocks. Summon Lightnings won't destroy items. Crush can process items if augmented with sensitive. Basically all different kinds of complicated things. We are more interested in spell casting. We are not going to read through all of this, but long story short, there are 3 different main things that apply to our spellbook. I do just want to look at the keybinds real quick. So if we open up our spellbook by hitting C, we will see that we have forms, we have effects, and if we want, we could add augments. Now, the forms are the sort of base of the spell. The effects are how we utilize that spell, I guess. How that effect, well, we can read this. Effects refer to what the spell will do, and they will resolve in the order they are placed in the book. So if we were to open up our spell book and have a projectile form, that means that our spell will take the form of a projectile. So when we apply it, it will shoot out sort of like an arrow or a snowball. The effect We only have 2 right now, but we have break and we have harm. So when that projectile hits something, it could break it, say if it hit a block, or if it hit a mob, it would do harm. Now, there are a countless number of these forms and glyphs. I guess they are one and the same, but we are going to try to make a few of these. That is what we need all of these different weird looking gadgets for, with the purple and gold. But we will make more of those here in just a minute. Let's go sleep off this rain, and we will step outside and test out our new spell casting. So again, if we open this up, we will do a projectile spell. Let's go ahead and do harm, and let's hit create. We have now created that spell. If we head out here and find, say, the Wraith that is right over here, and cast that spell, you can see that we can throw that. These dang creepers are causing us so many issues recently. We really need to work on our mob proofing. But I think you saw what exactly happened. We are going to keep that creeper away from us over here at our farm, and we aren't going to get too close. But you can see we just hit that creeper with our spell, and it did some damage to it. Let's get a little bit closer here without provoking him. And you can see we can just repeat this over and over, and then eventually the creeper dies. Now, you may have noticed the purple and yellow bar in the bottom left-hand corner, and you will see every time we use a spell, that bar depletes a little bit. That is our mana. That is sort of the magic essence that we have available to use in order to cast our spells. And there was a hostile mob somewhere over there, but it just despawned. So our mana regen potion allows us to regenerate that bar a little bit quicker. You will see if we cast a bunch of spells, it slowly rebuilds back up to that full bar. I probably shouldn't have thrown that at the village. I don't know how far those spells travel. We will have to test that out at some point. But nonetheless, that is our mana. I'm gonna go get some dirt and we're gonna fill in these creeper holes. But that is our mana, and that is our spell book. So now that you kind of understand those forms and augments and effects, that makes it a little bit easier to understand how something like the glyph of evaporate could be so useful. Deletes fluids in an area can be expanded with area of effect. Say if we wanted to remove a pond or a lake, that will make the whole process a lot easier, and we don't have to use mechanical pumps or anything like that, or sponges. We can just use spells. But again, now you are probably wondering how we get our hands on a lot of these glyphs. Well, again, that is what all of those fancy gadgets and gizmos are for. Over here, we have our scribe table. This is where we will put our blank glyph and write our spells. In order to do that though, we need source gems. To obtain source gems, you must first build an imbuement chamber. The chamber imbues items inside it with source and will convert them to a new item. To obtain a source gem, place an amethyst or lapis inside your imbuement chamber and wait. Imbuement chambers will consume source from nearby source jars to speed up any crafting. A dowsing rod can be used for finding budding amethyst early. And we can make that with a couple archwood planks and a gold ingot. We might as well do that and really embrace the full process of this mod. There we go, so we now have a dowsing rod, and that is going to give us another quest, just some XP for that. On top of that, we are also going to make some of these source jars, and we need to make an agronomic source link. This is how, again, we will power those chambers and the enchanting apparatus. To begin gathering source, you need a source jar and source link. To make this, we need a couple of source gems. In order to make those source gems, we need the imbuement chamber, and in order to craft that, it's actually fairly simple. It's just 6 archwood planks and a couple of gold ingots. The source jars is what will speed this up and make it a little bit easier, and I guess apparently we already had some source gems. I accidentally made the wrong thing here. I made the agronomic source link. I meant to craft the imbuement chamber. There we go. I guess we have found those in various chests and things like that, but again, we are going to get a couple more quests here. So the imbuement chamber, that will give us some archwood planks, and the source gems will give us a few more source gems, some XP, and let's see what else we got from that. Another source gem, so we are now up to 3 source gems. Not bad. We can also make a couple of these source jars now, and that will again help speed up this whole process of getting the source. A couple more quests for that, another source jar, and another source gem, and a Wilden spike. Alright, not bad. We have a zombified piglin out here that is kind of driving me crazy, so we are just gonna take him out real quick. I guess we could have used a spell, but the old-fashioned way works for now. So we now have our source jar, and we now have our imbuement chamber. Let's get both of these placed down. We can also place down our source link. Starting with the imbuement chamber, we will place that right here. We will place our jars going around it, just like that. And inside, we need to place a lapis. Again, this is interchangeable with amethyst, but I think lapis is a little bit easier for us to obtain right now. Do we have lapis seeds, and are we growing them over here? We have water, but we do not have lapis, so we are going to use this 4 lapis right here to make some lapis seeds. And lapis seeds are a tier 4 seed, so a little bit expensive, but with the amount that we will use, it will definitely be worth it. But as you can see, we now have a source gem. It is 1 for 1 with our lapis. And if we have dozens of these imbuement chambers all around, and the source jars, which to make source, we actually want to have a archwood tree nearby, I believe, as well as plants, and it will get that source from that. Simply having them down here doesn't actually do anything right now, but we could eventually speed that up quite a bit. And that is actually what our source link is for. If we place this down near a tree or crop from Ars Nouveau, mage blooms, sourceberry bushes, and archwood saplings, the output will fill up these source jars. Alright, we now have 4 Imperium Essence and our 4 Lapis. Let's go ahead and get these going, that way we can make plenty of those source gems. What exactly do we use those source gems for? Well, if we go back to the Ars Nouveau page and find the source gem, here we are, we can see that we make all different kinds of recipes out of these. We can make another source link, which again is how we fill up those source jars. One of the most important things though for us will be the arcane pedestal. That will help us make new spells if I'm not mistaken. The enchanting apparatus utilizes pedestals. Yes, I believe we need 8 of those around the arcane platform. Well, I guess we can read about it. To use the enchanting apparatus, place any number of arcane pedestals within 3 blocks of their items. Once you have filled the pedestals, use the middle item on the enchanting apparatus block. The enchanting apparatus requires an arcane core beneath it in order to work. Basically, this is a fancy way to craft stuff, but also a way to obtain items that we can't get in a crafting table. It's sort of like the large crafting grid in the Create mod. Also, our Inferium Scythe is about to give out. Rather than crafting a new one, we are actually going to upgrade this to a Prudentium Scythe. And we can do that even though our durability is low. Alright, we are in a potentially devastating situation. A creeper snuck up on me as I was working on the farm. I just panicked and hit the pause button. So the farm is about to blow up. Hopefully we don't lose too many good items. It looks like everything dropped, but we don't want a second creeper to come over here and ruin all of that. That is really, really unfortunate. Luckily, I think it dropped, hopefully, almost everything. Our sheep seeds did survive. That's probably one of the most important things that could have survived. We really need to go around and place torches. I think I will do that before nightfall here in just a moment. We did, however, unfortunately lose out on all of our Inferium, Prudentium, and maybe Tertium if we had Tertium farmland. But it looks like most, if not all of our seeds did make it. I will have to go through and do inventory on them. Again though, and what do we have? Okay, I see some kind of red dot. What is that? Okay, nope, we are not dealing with whatever that is today. We cannot catch a break this episode. It's a blitz. Alright, I need to check the Feed the Beast wiki real quick and see what a blitz is capable of doing. Alright, from what I could find, it sounds like we are dealing with a blaze sort of on steroids. It can give us a blindness effect. It has the same amount of health, but it might be a little bit more dangerous to deal with. And when we kill it, it will drop niter, which can be used to make blitz powder. I don't know what we can make from that point on. And I don't know where this thing went. There it is. It is right up here. So we want to stay clear of those projectiles, because that will give us a blindness effect and make it really difficult to fight this thing. And it looks like we are doing pretty good so far. We still don't have that blindness effect. I don't know why. Oh, okay, that was aggressive. Alright, now it is throwing fireballs at us and trying to summon lightning, and we need to eat. I think it's time to use our spell book. And we got it with our spells. How fitting in today's episode that we took out a mob of that caliber using our spells to our advantage. It looks like just an XP orb though. I don't know if we got that niter that I read we would get on the Minecraft wiki. But with night falling, it is time to place down all of our torches and get this island lit up once and for all. And I know this isn't the most conventional way of doing this, but it needs to be done. Alright, a little bit of a diversion there, but we should have just about everything we need to make our Prudentium Scythe. When we go to place our Inferium Scythe in the middle, we are currently at 157 durability. That will go up to 957. Again, the Prudentium Scythe increases the durability by 800, so that would make sense. When we upgrade to Supremium, it no longer has a durability. So as long as we make sure that we upgrade right before it gets down a little bit, of course this has 2800. When we go to a Tertium Scythe, we will gain 1200 more durability. And when we go from that to a Imperium Scythe, that adds 2000 durability, the equivalent of an Inferium Scythe. So again, as long as we stay on top of that, we should be good. We also get a quest for it. Let's grab our reward for that real quick. That will be under the Prudentium tools, and that will give us some squid seeds. Alright, that is pretty awesome. So we can now grow ink sacs. I'm not really sure what we will use those for since we have dye essence, but I'm sure there are many useful recipes out there for that. And I think that will also give us another reward right here, limestone seeds. Very nice. And will that grant us a reward somewhere else? Those might not be a part of the seeds chart right here. It doesn't look like they are. Nonetheless, it's great to be able to grow limestone. So I'm going to collect about a stack worth of lapis essence, and then we will get back to Ars Nouveau. Alright, we are back and we are up to 43 lapis, which isn't quite a full stack, but it is more than enough to get us started. Again, that will take a little while until we start adding some of those source links and filling up those source jars with source and speeding up our source gems. While we wait on that, we can revisit our notebook once again and see what else we have in store. Let's have a look at new glyphs, one of the most useful things so that we can create new spells. Now we have already made the scribe's table, and to use that we are going to make some blank parchment. We need some mage bloom fiber for this, and to make that we need to grow mage bloom, and that will give us 4 mage bloom fiber per mage bloom. To create these seeds, we need the enchanting apparatus, and we will put some seeds in the middle of that enchanting apparatus surrounded by 4 source gems. So again, those source gems are coming into play. Let's make that enchanting apparatus, shall we? So in order to do that, we need that pedestal, or for this recipe, we will actually need 4 of them. So let's see what we are missing here. We need some source stone, and in order to craft this, we need to surround a source gem with 8 pieces of stone. We have lots of andesite, so we will use that. That will give us 8 source stone, which will be enough to make the pedestals, although we are going to have to do that one more time in order to get enough to craft 4 of them. So there's 1, we need a few more gold nuggets, there's 2, 3, and 4, and we still have plenty of source gems. We also need the pedestal, the arcane platform right here, which can be placed in any direction and be used in place of a pedestal. Wait, is that right? That's not what we want. We want the notebook. I just want to confirm this. The enchanting apparatus. Let's find the chapter on that again. Here we go. The enchanting apparatus utilizes pedestals and source for crafting. To use the apparatus, place any number of arcane pedestals within 3 blocks of their items. It is the arcane platform, but we just put a pedestal in the crafting table like that, so we are going to make 1 more pedestal now. There we go. So now we have 4 pedestals and the arcane platform, which needs to be placed onto a arcane core, and in order to make that, it's pretty much the same recipe, or at least same materials as what we have been working with. I think we might need a little bit more source stone, but then we should be good on that, at least for a while. And now we are out of source gems, so let's grab 1 more from there. I think we just need 1 for this, so we will have just enough, although we have 2 anyway. So that will give us our arcane core, and now we have everything we need to set up this crafting. It's a little bit crammed in here. I plan on reimagining some area of our little island right here between now and next episode, and really setting up a whole system for this. So 4 things, 4 pedestals right around there like that. We will place our 4 source gems going around with our seeds in the middle. These can be any kind of seed. We have the most wheat seeds, so we place those down. Let's get a few more source gems going. And while we wait on those last 2 source gems, we are just going to set up a very makeshift temporary farm right in here, just so I can display how the agronomic source link works. So we will need a piece of dirt for that. We will grab out our stone hoe, and we will get a bucket of water just to hydrate that land. And we will place the agronomic source link down just right here. Again, this covers a 5x5, I think, or maybe, no, 15x15 area. So any crops that we have 7 blocks in that direction, 7 in that way, and that way, will all be covered from this. Any crops, trees, saplings, all things like that from Ars Nouveau, and that will fill up these source jars, which again will make the crafting of the source gems go much faster. So with our final source gem, now we can place that on our arcane pedestal over here, and what we will hopefully see, did we do this wrong? Does this have to be... Maybe we did. I'm thinking that this should also be a pedestal and not the platform. So let's just try changing that back into the pedestal and place our seeds in the middle. Maybe not. Maybe we should read up a little bit more about this. The enchanting apparatus is used for crafting special machines, curios, and equipment used to progress in Ars Nouveau. Crafting with the enchanting apparatus requires up to 8 arcane pedestals, an arcane core, and the enchanting apparatus block. Maybe that's what we're missing. I don't think we have made the enchanting apparatus block quite yet. Right here, the enchanting apparatus. We should be able to craft this. I think we have enough diamonds and everything else for it. Not that one. Not the spell turret. Where did it go? Oh, it's right here. There we go. Yes, we can craft all of that. Do we place... I think this is what we place in the middle. And we should get those seeds back. There we go. So when we place that in the middle, that looks a little more correct. I think, again, the pedestals are just interchangeable with the platforms, can be placed in any direction and used in place of a pedestal. So if we want that lower look, we could do that instead. But now, if we place our seeds down, there we go, we will see all this magic. Let's listen to the sound. And we get our very first Mage Bloom. How fun is that? I really do like all of the animations and things like that in this mod. Right over here, our agronomic source link should hopefully be spinning up. I don't know why it isn't. Let's have a look at this one more time. The agronomic source link generates source from crop and tree growth within 15 blocks. Bonus source is generated for magical plants such as mage blooms, sourceberry bushes, and archwood. So it can be any kind of crop, it looks like. The Ars Nouveau crops do a little bit better. It will be output from the source link to nearby jars within 5 blocks. Note, bone mealing crops will not grant source. Again though, I'm not really sure why that isn't working. We have the Mage Bloom seeds right there, we have jars next to it, or maybe it is. You know what, I think that's what these pink particles are. I think that is filling up. If we remove the imbuement chamber here, will the source jars begin to fill up? Source jars store source gathered from nearby source links. Source is used in glyphs and rituals. I think we might need a source relay placed down somewhere as well. It is just one thing after another. Here we go, source relay. We need a source gem block, which is 4 source gems. Oh wait, there we go. That looks like it might be filling up. So I think we are good after all. It looks like each time that grows, we get a little bit more source in there. So I guess we are okay. Of course, if we had an entire farm and all different saplings and things like that, it would really get going. That's why in the next episode, we are going to be setting up that. But for now, that is where we are going to leave it. That's right, we are going to make this a 2-parter since there is so much to look at. We will be creating our very first glyph in the next episode and creating some custom spells. So stay tuned for all of that. In the meantime, if you enjoyed today's episode, definitely hit that thumbs up button and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on daily content as soon as I publish it. Check the description for some more important information, links, how to contact me, all of that good stuff. And with all of that being said, comment, like, subscribe, remember to stay optimistic, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Bye!